Hello, and I welcome you to part 1 of the Chapter 11 support conversations. So, for this one, I'm going to try to get the conversations that are mainly just one and done. They're mainly the characters that only have either one or two conversations total, because I do have a lot of them. And I believe I have two of them that are locked, but I don't know when they will unlock. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this first one, which starts with Felix. That looks good.
Go ahead.
Oh boy! But wait, if I eat that, what are you gonna eat?
I'll buy something from one of the merchants outside.
But that costs money! This is my second helping. Or maybe third. I can't remember. Anyway, if anyone's gonna be paying for extra food, it should be me.
In that case, I'll take you up on... Wait, was that thunder?
Nope. Just my stomach. Sorry to scare ya. I tell ya, I can't wait for this war to be over so I can eat as much as I want.
Look, skipping a full portion won't kill me. Why don't you take half?
Wow! You mean it? Thanks a bunch, meat buddy.
Meat buddy? Wait, is that me?
Yeah, you love it as much as I do. So that makes us meat buddies.
Whatever you say.
Hey, I've got an idea. If there isn't enough to go around, we should go hunting. That way everyone can have their fill.
That's actually not a bad idea.
I know! Come on, we'll hit up the nearby forest. I heard some hunters saying there's a ton of game there.
Just so happens I have some free time on my hands. So let me finish my lunch and I'll be ready.
All right! Meat buddies are unstoppable!
Wait, you forgot your food! He really is something.
Meat buddies unite.
So, by stationing themselves in the bog, they were able to slow the advance of the enemy horses.
Exactly. But Lug's army was prepared in other ways too. They dug pitfalls, set up anti-cavalry palisades, and more. Laying all that groundwork is what led them to victory.
It's strange how the stories of King Lugh don't go into much detail about him. But once you dig a bit, you realize he was a really talented tactician. I feel like I see him in a whole new light now. Say, do you think we could use this strategy in an upcoming battle? I know we can't do the exact same thing, but in that geography book you recommended to me before...
Where have you been hiding this talent? You're absorbing everything I teach you like a sponge. I can see why Lord Lonato had such faith in you.
Oh, it's not that. You're just a really good teacher.
Even taking that to be true, you're clearly an exceptional student. I'm actually sort of jealous that Dimitri gets a great knight like you by his side. I'd love to find some reason to steal you away to my territory after the war.
Don't joke like that, Sylvain. I serve His Majesty alone.
Ooh, shut down. But yeah, I get it. Still, are you really gonna devote your entire life to being a royal knight? To live and die in Verdiad?
That was my initial idea, but I had a talk with His Majesty recently that made me reconsider. He asked if I wanted to succeed Lonato and take over Castle Gaspar after the war.
Castle Gaspar, huh? That makes sense. Adopted or not, you are Lord Lonato's heir.
Oh, it missed a few lines there. Only remaining heir. Which, it's like, would he really be? Because it's like, doesn't he have little brothers and sisters?
I doubt the townspeople will be very accepting of me after I allowed him to die. But I'm still the only one capable of taking on the job. Or at least that's how I like to think of it.
Sounds like a huge responsibility, all right. Definitely can't ask you to come to House Gautier in that case.
That land meant everything to Lonato, and I would do anything to protect it. I want to help other people the same way he helped me. And I think I'm finally strong enough to do that now.
I should have expected as much. But hey, if that's what you want to do, I've got your back. A little education can be handy for a knight, but castle lords need to learn everything they can get their hands on. So let me know if you ever need old Teach to fill your little head full of info, and I'll come running.
You're not Teach. Byleth is Teach.
Sheesh, listen to me. I think your serious nature is contagious.
You joke, but I think you've always been a serious person deep down. You're an intelligent man who's always got his mind on one thing or another. I mean, aside from the way you acted back at the academy.
Oh, the unkindest cut. Completely accurate, but still.
I'm excited to learn everything I can from you, Sylvain. I really am.
Who knew that he could be such a great teacher? And that ends their support conversations. Pretty interesting.
Mess hall food is just the best!
You're really piling up the plates there, Raphael. You must have been extra hungry.
Yeah, I was just out exercising. Food always tastes best after a long workout.
You should tell the chefs how much you enjoyed it. I'm sure they'd be pleased.
Will do. You know, I opened an inn myself, and I've been doing the cooking there. Except, I've never gotten a compliment from a customer. Not even once.
So they didn't like it? I wonder why.
I guess it just didn't taste very good. Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about cooking, so I had a pretty rough time in the kitchen.
And that's probably why.
In that case, why don't we work on it together? You may not have as many chances to cook here, but I bet we can still find opportunities to hone your skills. Believe me, one of the best feelings in the world is having someone tell you they enjoyed a meal you created.
Hold on. You're gonna train me? You're the best, Ash!
We'll get started right away. First, let's see you make something so I can get a feel for your skill level.
Well, how's it taste?
Well, it's not bad necessarily, but a huge pile of meat isn't really a meal. It's just meat.
Wait, you want something more than that? To each his own, I guess.
If you're going to focus on one ingredient, you have to work on your seasonings. This just tastes like a slab of bacon wrapped around a salt lick. Also, try using some vegetables for a garnish, if nothing else. A little splash of color will make your dishes more appealing to the eye.
Huh. I never thought about how food looked.
That's something my father always used to say. If flavor is king, appearance is the royal court. He's actually the one who taught me that adding some color with vegetables will make things taste better, too.
Well, I guess I could jam a cucumber in there or something, if you think it'd help.
You can't just jam things in without thinking about it, Raphael. You have to prepare them first. then arrange them in a way that's pleasing to the eye. Every ingredient requires careful preparation in order to bring out its true flavor.
Okay. I think I get it.
For example, try seasoning the meat with some herbs, then boil your vegetables to remove the bitterness. After that, fan them out on the platter and...
Wait, hang on. I boil the bitterness out of the herbs, then platter the season? But which season? Fall? Spring?
What? What?
This is way harder than just throwing a hunk of beef on a plate.
Deep breaths, Raphael. You can do this. And since this whole training thing was my idea, I promise to stick it out to the very end.
Thanks, Ash. With your help, I'm gonna make grub that'll have folks licking their plates.
Yeah, don't show this man the Chef Ramsay.
Thank you for joining me on this moonlit stroll, my dear lady.
Thank you for the invitation. I've always been fond of such nighttime wanderings. The moon and stars are lovely, and there are also certain flowers that bloom only at night.
Count on you to know something like that. You'll have to point me in the direction of those flowers sometime.
Yes, well, what did you want to talk about?
Well, I heard you were getting engaged, and I was just wondering how you felt.
Goodness, someone is well informed.
Well, your fiancé-to-be is a noble from Gautier territory. It's only natural word would find its way to me. Are you going to accept? I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy or anything, but...
No, it's a fair question. However, as my adoptive father backs the proposal, I doubt I have much say in the matter. Though if I did, I'd likely refuse. There's still so much I want to do and experience in this world. Still, I doubt there's much hope of the parties involved relenting.
Why not just turn him down like you do all the other guys?
I've refused so many proposals that my adoptive father has run out of patience. And as he's already initiated the marriage discussions, it would be difficult to back out now.
That lowlife doesn't care about your feelings at all. He just cares about that crest of yours.
We don't choose our bloodline, just like flowers don't choose where to bloom. If being married means I will never know want, then I've no right to complain, even if it is not my preferred outcome. You're much the same, yes? People like us have to try to bloom as best we can.
I never really thought of myself as a flower, but I get what you're saying. Flowers are stuck in the same spot for life, whether they like it or not. And if they happen to sprout in a bad area, they're out of luck. But we have legs, not roots. We can go wherever we want. And we don't have to give up on our dreams, so long as we're clever about it.
I see. And what is your clever solution in this case?
Well, if your only goal is to end negotiations with this guy, I could ask you to marry me instead.
I'm not sure I follow. You would marry me, so I don't have to marry someone else?
To be perfectly clear, I'm not making advances on you or anything. But I'm the heir of House Gautier. If I ask you, this other guy will have no choice but to bow out. Though I doubt he'd be happy about it. After that, you can do whatever you want. Go work at a church, or ladle out soup, or whatever makes you happy. I won't stop you.
But that would prevent you from marrying the person you love.
Okay, look, it's just an idea. You've got lots of options available to you.
You really do know the ways of the world, Sylvain. I've always admired that about you.
The honor of receiving such a compliment from you lifts my feet from the ground. But seriously, let me know if you need any help. I'm always here for you.
Sylvain being thoughtful. Who knew? And that ends their support conversations. I'm not sure if that was their only one, but yeah, that ends their support conversations.
Am I actually a good knight? I feel like I'm hindering more than helping most of the time.
What's wrong, Ignatz? You look sad.
As she appears from out of nowhere.
Oh, hey Annette. Sorry to make you worry. I was just pondering some things. You don't need to worry about... Huh. Say, you're Gustav's daughter, right?
Yes? Why exactly?
Well, Gustav is said to be one of the finest knights in all of Faerghus. So... Listen, do you have a minute to talk?
Of course. What's on your mind?
I've been thinking about something recently. I don't know if I'm any use as a knight.
What? Come on, Ignatz. You help us out plenty. Everyone relies on you.
Do you, though? I mean, I'm a knight, but I don't have any particular skill where I'm outstanding. That's, why I was hoping I could learn a thing or two from stories about your father. Gustav is a legendary knight who served generations of Faerghus kings, after all.
Okay, this is making me blush, and I'm not even the subject of the flattery. But hey, I'm happy to tell you what I know.
Oh, thank you. In that case, let me dive right in. So, what sort of training does he normally do?
He doesn't go a day without training with both the sword and spear. And I'm serious, I don't think he's taken a day off in decades.
Interesting. So, he must have been made a royal knight in recognition for all his hard work, right?
I'm not sure if it's from hard work exactly. Okay, so this might just be one of my uncle's jokes, but my father started working as a soldier at the royal castle when he was even younger than we are now. And 40 or so years ago, apparently he saw the previous king, who was just a kid at the time, fall off one of the ramparts. So he threw his spear and pinned the young king's clothes to the wall, which saved his life. Anyway, that's apparently what got him promoted.
That's, well, it's so specific that I can't entirely dismiss it as a joke.
After that, my father changed his training regimen to include spearing falling leaves onto tree trunks. Hundreds of them, every day, I'm told.
He does all that just for training? I don't think I could pin one leaf, not to mention hundreds. Sorry, Annette. I think I've set my sights too high.
I mean, you can't do what he does, but you can do what you can do.
Huh? Looks like Byrne's talking to someone. You seem to be in a good mood, Byrne.
Dorothea! You scared me!
Sorry about that. It just looked like you were enjoying your conversation. That was a man you were talking to, right? He walked away before I could see who it was.
It was Yuri.
Yeah, but it's not like that.
Oh no? It sure looked like you were getting along well. Who was he, hmm? Is spring finally springing in the heart of my dear Byrne?
No, it's not like that! Do you remember the commoner friend I had once?
You mean the one who vanished from your estate half dead?
Yep. Well, it turns out he's actually alive, and in our army.
That's great, Byrne. A childhood friend, thought past, reunites with his treasured companion amidst the fires of war. a noble daughter, and a common lad. A love that knows no social boundaries. This is the perfect plot for an opera.
Yeah, that sounds wait, no, it's not love!
Yes, but if they made it into an opera, that's how it would be portrayed. For example, there's a series of operas known as the Empire of Love, and their latest could be the Bernadetta Saga.
Absolutely not! If that happens, I'll lock myself in my room and melt down the key!
Then I'll have to keep it secret. A shame, though. It's such a lovely story to waste.
It's not a waste! I'm taking it to my grave!
I'm sure you are. Still, I'm glad your friend is all right. Perhaps your father wasn't as cruel to him as wagging tongues would have us believe.
Actually, he says my father was protecting me. I guess someone was trying to kill me, so he had no choice but to kick out my friend.
But if that's the case, doesn't it mean you can patch things up with your father?
No. My problems with him go way beyond this one incident. I mean, yeah, it seems like there was a bit of a misunderstanding around this one thing. But even if he was protecting me, it wasn't for love. It's more like how a smith protects a valuable tool.
That sounds very much like my father.
It does?
Yes. He tossed my mother aside like some worn-out tool because their child, me, didn't have a crest. That's why your situation feels so personal. I really want you to overcome your struggles with everything that happened with your father, and find a way to be happy.
But I'm already happy. Really, I am. And it's all because I have friends like you, Dorothea.
Then I can be happy too. Because I have friends like you, Bern.
What are friends for? That ends their support conversations. And I have to see if I have to actually see if Bernie has any conversations with Yuri.
Raphael, pardon my interrupting your fleeting moment of repose.
Oh, hey Lawrence. You need something?
I do, in fact. To tell the truth, I recently learned how you and your family founded an inn once you returned to your hometown. Yet, you still chose to leave them behind and risk your life and livelihood fighting in this brutal war. I must ask the reason why.
Why? Well, to keep my family safe, of course.
I struggle to follow your reasoning. Would then it not be more prudent to remain by their side?
That's what I thought at first, too. But just being there with them wouldn't be enough. Yeah, I can protect everyone day to day if I'm back keeping watch at the inn. But if me joining the fight on the front lines means we bring peace back to the world, they'd never have to worry another day in their lives. So sure, it's tough being away from Maya through all this, but it'll be worth it in the end. I know it.
I see. Your thinking is correct in part, but it is in part mistaken as well. Staying at the inn to protect your family will not provide them the security you so desperately desire. So long as this war continues to heave along, your establishment will always remain at risk of being consumed by the flames of combat. But you are a commoner, and it is our duty as nobles to protect the ordinary citizens of our territories. There should be no need for one who is not with the military to leave their family and join the war effort. Such tasks are meant to be handled by the nobility. In other words, you should be leaving the defense of your lands to me and my subordinates.
Were you really that worried about me being here? Oh, thanks! But this was my choice. I'll be fine.
No, that is not what I meant, in the slightest. I speak of the obligation we in the nobility have to our people. The weight of war should fall on our very shoulders, while the common folk in our charge should focus on maintaining their livelihoods.
Okay, but I'm still gonna fight no matter what. The toughest people are the ones who should be leading the charge, right?
What I mean is, you're not listening to a word I say, are you?
You don't think I've got what it takes, huh? I got it. Let's compete to see who's stronger.
Pardon? You want a competition?
You betcha. It's the perfect way to find out who's got the real arm muscles around here. There's a bunch of boxes that need to get moved over in the training grounds. Want to see who can carry the most? If I win, you'll have to promise to be totally cool with letting me fight.
No, I must decline. By that token, you will only end up proving your point.
So you do think I'm strong?
Do not misunderstand my intentions. You and I are on completely different pages on this matter. We are practically in two separate genres. But someone like him would undoubtedly prove useful in the heat of battle. But...
hello? Whatever. I'm gonna go grab those boxes myself. My muscles are aching for a little workout.
Yeah, so that was their only support conversation. And it's like Lorenz cared, but it's like Raphael's gonna Raphael.
Hey there, Ignatz.
Oh, Raphael!
I've been looking all over for you. Got a minute to chat?
Of course. With all the battles lately, we've barely had any time to sit down and rest.
Right? It feels like I don't even see you anymore. And I definitely don't have enough time to show off my muscles.
Glad to see you haven't changed at all these past 2 years. The Officers' Academy shut down so suddenly. I scarcely would have imagined we'd all end up back together as part of an army.
Same here. Oh, and I could hardly believe my ears when I found out you signed up to be a knight over with Lawrence.
To be honest, I had nowhere else to turn. I owe a great debt to him and his generosity.
Gotcha. He's not such a bad guy, that Lawrence.
I agree. Tell me, Raphael, how have you been holding up these past 2 years? I hear your family opened an inn.
Oh yeah, me, my grandpa, and Maya. Business is going pretty great if you ask me.
That's wonderful. And how is Maya?
She's as sunny as always. That reminds me, she was pretty worried about you. I better write her a letter and tell her you're okay. I'm sure she wants to see you. Bet you're feeling the same way, huh?
Of course, I'd love to come and... That is, I should write her a letter.
What's wrong?
Life never works out the way you want, does it?
Huh?
Oh, it's nothing. Just thinking back to my childhood. Back then, I felt like I had the power to do whatever I wanted.
What do you mean? I still feel like that now.
You do?
Sure. I know I joined the Officers' Academy to be a knight, but that option's off the table. But look at me now. I might not be a knight, but I'm fighting in a war as if I was. All you've got to do is put your mind to it, and you can do anything you want. Trust me.
Yes, I think you're right. Thanks, Raphael.
What are friends for? That was their C conversation, but I had reached B support, so that's why it says B.
Hey there, Shamir. What's a gal like you doing in a place like this?
Oh, it's you. What do you want?
Nothing in particular. Just had some time to kill. Thought it'd be nice to chat.
Shouldn't you be off sparring with Catherine?
That sounds nice and all, but I've had my eye on you for a while.
Try anything funny, and you'll regret it.
Whoa, take it easy, pal. I didn't mean it like that. I was just thinking the two of us have got a lot in common, yeah?
Nothing comes to mind.
Hey now, let's not be too hasty. Take gambling, for instance. I happen to know you like a little game of chance, and I fancy a wager myself every now and again.
You can't call it gambling if all you do is lose.
Sure, I've probably lost more than I've made, but hey, that's part of the fun, right?
Keep telling yourself that.
What about booze? From what I understand, you're quite the drinker.
But unlike you, I can actually hold my liquor.
Hey, that was one time. Nobody drinks Balthus under the table. Not unless I've lost a bet.
You must lose often. I've seen you stumbling around here quite a bit.
All right, so gambling and booze are out. What about fighting? The battlefield is where we both come alive, yeah?
My fighting style is nothing like yours.
I can't argue with that. I like to get in real close and crack some skulls, while you prefer to pick off enemies from a safe distance. But even if our methods are different, the end result is the same. It's kill or be killed out there.
Huh. So you do see how we're different.
Give me some credit, will ya? I might not be the best drinker or gambler, but I am the desirable king of grappling. I can tell you're not looking for your fights to be a bloodbath, unlike yours truly.
Because I don't like dying. I prefer to be the one doing the killing. That's why I use a bow. The only one who bleeds is the enemy. Aren't you forgetting something? After gambling and booze, you're supposed to ask me about women. Though I doubt our tastes are similar.
Wait, what?
Wait, what's that supposed to mean? Hey, Shamir! Where are you going? Huh. Wonder what that was about.
I too wonder what that was about. Interesting. But she seemed like she wanted to not have anything to do with them.
Never thought we'd get the chance to fight side by side again. It was a total surprise, to be honest. But I'm actually pretty happy with how things shook out. I know. You're still as cold as ice, you know that? Would it kill you to say you're happy to see me or something? Sorry to disappoint. Nah, I actually kinda missed it. Besides, that's just how you are. So, what have you been up to since you left the Knights? I spent some time in Leicester as a mercenary. Not many people know me there. But you already knew that. You sent for me, didn't you? You mean back at the battle at Arian Road, right? Actually, the Knights were just throwing my name around to recruit all the mercenaries they could. I had no idea you'd be one of them. Huh. So it really was just a coincidence. What about you? Still serving as Rhea's sword? Lady Rhea. I'll let that slide since you're not a Knight of Seiros anymore. But to answer your question, yes. No matter who I'm swinging it at, my sword will always belong to her. Honestly, I was surprised to hear you'd slipped away after repaying your debt to Lady Rhea. You didn't even say goodbye. I was furious. I guess sneaking out was the right call then. I was running around, shouting that I'd drag you back to Garreg Mach and kill you myself. But then Lady Rhea took me to task. She said it wasn't fair for me to impose the Church's values on someone who wasn't from Fodlan. Sounds like I owe her another one. For what? I wasn't really going to kill you. I'll take your word for it. You know, I fought alongside a lot of people since I left. But you're still the only one I trust to have my back. So what you're really saying is that you missed me and wish you never left?
You basically said the same yourself, didn't you? But yes, I did miss you. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. For once, I'm glad I was wrong.
Would you look at that? You have changed. And I feel the same. Really. I couldn't ask for a better partner than you. But if you disappear on me again, so help me, I really will hunt you down.
Then the next time I go somewhere, I'll just have to drag you with me.
Oh, that's what friends are for, or partners are for. Maybe. Maybe. That was their only conversation. So that ends their support conversations. Their support conversation, I mean. Alrighty, so that will end here. Next time I'll go and do all the other support conversations that I have. All of them. So many. So, from all of those, from all of them put together, there are only 2 that I can't do. And it's because I can't do them in this chapter. So they could be available in the next chapter. So I'll see you guys next time, and until then, I'll be seeing ya.